Hi, it's Jane from the blog chalkingupsuccess.com, and today I'm making a small space hot cocoa bar. To save space, I'm using this sleigh as a stand and I'm placing it diagonally in the corner of the kitchen. Now I want to fill in the triangular space at the back of the sleigh with sprigs of evergreen and mistletoe, and I'm using a mixture of 4 unreal picks for this. And the jar's not really tall enough, so I'm going to stand it on this little container. Then I'm adding this large rustic Christmas decoration towards the back of the sleigh and in front of the vase so you don't see the glass anymore. And I'm going for a woodland theme for this hot cocoa bar. So now I want to add a bit of evergreen. So these are 4 sprigs of evergreen. I'm just sliding one in through the front of the wooden sleigh. And then I'll put another one towards the back, or maybe just towards the side to create a bit of depth. That looks okay. And then I'm going to add this little 4 Christmas tree at the back of the sleigh. And then for decoration, I'm just adding some candy canes into a tall glass jar. I just put those to the side of the sleigh here. And for the toppings, I found this cute star-shaped jar in a local shop, and I think it looks so pretty, filled with the creamy white mini marshmallows. And for a festive look, I tied some red and white gingham check ribbon around the top of the jar. And our hot chocolate jar is huge and would completely fill all of the space on this sleigh. So to make it a bit more accessible, I decanted some of the hot chocolate powder into a smaller spring top jar, and I'm placing it towards the front of the sleigh. Caramel bits are one of my favourite toppings. I'm a real caramel fan, so everybody has their favourites, don't they? Let me know in the comments what your favourite hot cocoa topping is. And I've just added them to a small spring top jar. And then I did the same for these semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I just put them in between the marshmallows and the hot chocolate on the sleigh. And then lastly, for the salted caramel fans, I added a small jar of fleur de sel, which is sea salt, and you only need a tiny sprinkling of this precious sea salt on top of your finished drink. Alternatively, you could also use normal sea salt. And now I've got these chocolate hazelnut cream filled wafers, and I think they're perfect for dipping into hot chocolate. And to keep the wafers fresh, I've popped them into this tall glass weck jar, and I'm just going to stand the jar in front of the candy canes on the left side of the sleigh. As soon as I start my Christmas baking, then I'll swap out the wafers for home baked Christmas cookies, like the chocolate dipped Christmas cookies and embossed cookies that I make. I've got videos for both of those if you're interested, and I'll leave links to them down in the description below. And now it's time to finish off decorating the hot cocoa bar. I'm adding a 3D paper star to the front of the sleigh, but if you prefer to have more toppings on your cocoa bar, then you could use this space for that instead. And if you'd like to have a tutorial for this paper star, then let me know in the comments below. Next come the Christmas mugs, and I'm stacking some cute reindeer mugs onto a wood slice coaster on the right hand side of the sleigh. And you can find cute mugs like this everywhere at this time of the year, but if you want to keep your costs down, then use the mugs you already have. And I found some gorgeous wooden spoons, and I placed them on another wood slice coaster at the front of the sleigh. And the wooden spoons can either be used for stirring the hot cocoa or for scooping out the toppings. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I really love to include natural elements in all of my displays. And here I'm using pine cones, orange slices, and some natural seed heads. I think they're lotus seed heads. And I'm just tucking them in and around the front of the display. And then I've got this simple garland of tiny copper chimes, and I'm draping it along the front edge of the sleigh. And I have several of these garlands, and I use them throughout my home at Christmas time. They're really useful. And then lastly, I wanted to add a string of lights, and you know the type that are tiny LEDs on a wire, and they're my favorite sort of lights for displays because they're so discreet. But I had a little bit of a disaster with them. Actually, it wasn't the only disaster that I had when I was filming this. But if you want to know all about that, then you can have a look at the blog post, and I explain everything there. By the way, if you want the print that you can see in the background, it's been added to the free subscriber library on my blog. and it actually looks a little bit different to this. I had a bit of a disaster with printing it out, which I've solved now, but if you want to see how it really looks, then you have to go to the blog post and you'll see a picture of it there. So that's my woodland themed space saving hot cocoa bar. Let me know in the comments below if you've made one of these yourself, and if you have, what are your favorite toppings to use on hot cocoa? Well, that's it from me at Chalking Up Success. I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll see you next time.